right, Nadine Mancos, thanks so much for taking some time here today to talk with me. Really excited to be working with both of you and the entire team at Country Day. It's just been a wonderful experience. Looking forward to helping you with this search. As we get started, just want to give some viewers a chance to get a little background on the two of you who are going to be partners to this role and the school and the community. So, Nadine, why don't you talk just a bit about your professional background and what drew you to Country Day?
Sure. Thanks, Gabe. So I came to education by a bit of a circuitous route. I started my career in investment banking and finance, and then moved into the nonprofit sector and was a fundraiser, actually, and then decided that I wanted to become a teacher. So I started actually in higher ed as an adjunct professor at a couple of local colleges in Florida and really caught the bug for teaching, and then spent about 12 years in an independent school in South Florida and realized I really loved independent schools, in particular upper schools. And so I've had a series of leadership roles since then, most recently as the assistant head of school at a K to 12 school in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia. And what drew me to Country Day after that role was really the opportunity to be in a school that gets to kind of see the whole journey from JK to 12 for students and to do some really important work in terms of innovation while also helping kids grow up in a community that has a strong sense of tradition and a strong sense of relational bonds and community feel that I think is very hard to explain, but really wonderful when you experience it.
That's super. And this is year
This is year
two,
two for
year two
me.
for you.
Yep.
How
Yep.
exciting.
Year two.
Wonderful,
Mhm.
wonderful. Mancos, you've been there a bit longer. Talk about your background and what drew you to Country Day.
Yeah, well, thank you, Gabe. Thanks, Nadine. I basically have had only two jobs in my life. I was a United States Army paratrooper for 21 years, and I've been at Charlotte Country Day School in my role as finance and operations for a little over 27 years. This is the only job I've had at Country Day is in finance and operations. Um, I just love it here. I think the thing that I like the best about this school is it's a really caring community, and they show it every day. It's not just idle words. So
No,
that's
that's
me
fabulous.
in a nutshell.
Yeah, no. Well, and you talk about the community, so why don't we just explore that a bit? And maybe Mancos, you can start, and then Nadi, you can build from that in terms of your experience. But for those that haven't been to Country Day, of course, it's a large two-campus school. We had the great privilege of seeing both campuses. They're fabulous. But just talk a bit about just the community, the campus, the culture of the school, and kind of what it's like to walk the grounds and be with all the great people at Country Day.
Yeah, as I said, it's a very caring community, and our parents are just phenomenal. The support they give to the school, the Parents Association, they work and make contributions to the school at the end of the year, six-figure donation year after year after year. And actually, we have three campuses counting a farm. We were a couple of years ago gifted a 330-acre farm, which is not far from the school. Another great thing about the school is in 2021, we wrapped up a 6-year, 7-year building campaign, $96 million of new buildings and improvements.
And I saw those firsthand, and they were outstanding. Nadine, talk a little bit about just some of either the programs that are
Yeah.
happening or just the people and the
Yeah.
culture and the experience of learning at Country Day.
Sure. So I'll just piggyback what Menko's shared. When I've visited and worked in a lot of independent schools, and when I showed up here for my visit day, a future colleague was driving me, and I glanced over and I thought, oh, what a lovely college campus as we're on our way to Country Day. And it turned out we turned in, and that was the place we were going. It is a remarkable facility. We're very fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of natural beauty. And then I think what's special about this community and the work in independent schools, particularly in this role, is that you see the work product and you see the ripple impact of your decisions right away with the kids, with the families. Sometimes in other industries and in for-profit industry in particular, you don't necessarily always know how your decisions are coming to life. And in a school setting, I think we see them pretty quickly here. And I also really value here the idea that decisions are made in collaboration. No one's alone. There are plenty of people on the team. Mankos and I talk multiple times a day. I have lots of colleagues I can turn to pick up the phone and work through a problem of practice with. And that's a really powerful feeling when you're, trying to create a really good experience for kids to not have to do it alone.
Oh, super. Well, this next technology leader will not be doing it alone. They'll have a big team in their division. They'll be reporting to a new assistant head of school who is starting next year. They have a new head of school, or the school has a new head of school who just started this year. There's the two of you and many other partners. So just if you can talk a little bit about some of the important priorities and goals for the role, and you can speak within your respective lanes of academics and operations, but you can also speak for the folks that are around and are coming and all the initiatives that are in motion. Nadine,
Yeah.
you want to maybe kick us off there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what's really unique about this position is that the person who takes the role will be inheriting some really strong programs and some really nice infrastructure, and also have a chance to build some new things. So it's not building a new house from scratch. It's renovating a house with some really wonderful bones and some aspects that are in really nice shape, but then also putting your personal stamp on it. So, in the upper and middle school in particular, we're really looking at the role that instructional technology is playing in the lives of our students. We're constantly examining the ways that we can stay at the forefront of what is going on in instructional technology while also managing the social, emotional, and mental health needs of our kids and families. I think kind of broader in terms of tech strategy, we're thinking about, what skills do we want kids to graduate with, and what are the jobs and roles and competencies that they're going to need when they leave our school? And then at a more micro level, what is the way to get the most out of our systems, our employees, to make their day-to-day working experience and lived experience really highly efficient and productive and enjoyable? And I think this person will be a partner to all of us in figuring that out. It will be a nice balance between tradition and innovation.
Super. Mankos, how would you just talk about what you're looking for as somebody who is involved in a lot of operational and physical plant and of course, financial planning? This is a big C-level role itself, and talk about what you're hoping for in this partnership.
Yeah, I just, I'd like to echo everything that Nadine said. And then also as the non-educator, I think what I am looking for is somebody that can take this leading edge technology and help us integrate that throughout the school, particularly in the classroom, to prepare these young people for the future that is here now. So, how do we use technology to make their educational experience better?
Appreciate that. Final question, just sort of want to, this is a national search and people may know a little bit about Country Day, but not a lot. And I would sort of like to ask, like, when you're at the grocery store and someone's like, oh, Charlotte Country Day, I've heard of that. What do you tell them?
Mhm.
And kind of what's that why, or just or what do you hear about people from people who are like, oh my God, I heard about Country Day, so Mankos, you've been there a long time. You've probably gone to the grocery store and told a few people you work at Country Day. What's the first thing out of your mind when you tell them about the school?
Uh, we're an educational leader. We don't take a back seat to anyone. And I sometimes I wonder about things, and then I look at these young people that we have here at the school and graduate, and it really uh, restores your faith in the future.
Appreciate that. Nadine, how do you tell the country
Yeah.
today in a nutshell?
Well, as head of upper school, I like to do my grocery shopping late at night so that I don't run into anyone. That's my quiet time. But I will say that Charlotte has a really nice small town feel, and Country Day I think reflects that really strong sense of community. And I have worked at some lovely schools in various parts of the country across the coasts, and there is, the sort of performative, we're a great community and we take care of our own. And then there's the really genuine, we're not letting you off the hook. You're coming for dinner, or, we're going to help you in this situation, or we're going to give you advice about this thing. I have experienced such a profound sense of care here that I think that's what I really try to lead with when I talk about our school, because it is true about the kids, it's true about the parents, it's true about our colleagues. Um, it is a very, very lucky position, I think, to work in a school that so genuinely manifests true community.
I can 100% attest to that. And a little teaser I'm going to offer to anybody who's watching this. Uh, we found out that the nickname of your middle school campus, if I'm correct, is Camp Happy.
Yeah,
And for anybody who remembers middle school, it is usually not the happiest time of
yeah,
year. And yet, and I can say firsthand, it had a truly vibrant, happy feel. So,
yeah,
Nidhi, I
yeah.
completely agree.
Great.
It's just a great place. Appreciate
Well,
both.
oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
oh,
No,
Gabe, I was just going to
yeah.
add that as a parent of
Oh,
two middle schoolers, we also looked at the school through the lens of,
yes.
potentially being a parent. A lot of us wear multiple hats. And I will say, as a parent, my kids are experiencing that very thing, a real sense of true welcome. Kids look out for each other here. They support each other. It's a competitive, high quality program, and
Yeah,
yet there's so much heart underneath it with the
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
It's rare to have two middle schoolers who don't want, to have a holiday, and my kids really love going to school. So
Um,
I'll just echo
that's
that back.
that's wonderful, wonderful. I appreciate both of your time today, and thanks so much. And we look forward to working with you on the rest of the search.